All right, NASA right now has some things to be excited about, some things to be worried about. The excited, of course, is what you're looking on the left-hand side of your screen, images of the universe that are just reaching us 13 billion years away. Well, that's very exciting from this new Webb telescope. It's parked, not at park, but it's going around there a million miles away. An unobstructed view of the entire galaxy, the universe, taking these stunning images. We've never before seen it. Closer to home, there's the moon. Of course, we conquered that a long time ago, and now everyone's back to trying to use that as a base of operations for further lunar travels and beyond, including the Chinese that are plunking more money into the effort than all other countries, including our own, combined. And that's worried a lot of folks because there's growing fears here that the Chinese are going to do on the moon what they tried to do in the South China Sea and are doing, taking over islands that don't even belong to them and militarizing them. Is it a legitimate fear? Should we be worried? Jim Bridenstine joins us right now, the former NASA Administrator, Headquartered Growth Company Senior Advisor. Jim, great seeing you again. What do you make of this Chinese fear that they do not come in peace?
Well, I think it's important to note that they are going to the moon. They are going with Russia. And the United States of America needs to take it very seriously in the sense that we need to go to the moon. We need to go with our international partners. We need to go with commercial programs so that NASA is, in fact, a customer and one customer of many customers in a robust commercial environment. And we need these commercial providers to go get, not just NASA, but a lot of other customers, to include international partners. So I think it's important for Congress to recognize that China is going. It's part of their comprehensive national power strategy, and the United States of America needs to do likewise.
You know, it's sort of like a new version of the space race we had with the then Soviet Union, and maybe some of these fears are overdone or too paranoid. But then, Jim, might start looking at what the Chinese have indeed done in the South China Sea and elsewhere, where they're taking over islands that don't belong to them, and make them military bases. And so there is precedent. Should we be worried about that?
There is. I would also say, look, you led with the James Webb Space Telescope. What that shows us, we're talking about images that are from 13 billion light years away. That's a very long distance, as far as we've ever seen before, and nobody has ever been able to generate those kind of images in the history of mankind. And yet the United States of America can do it, and we do it with our international partners. But that's just one of so many things that we're doing. We now have landed on Mars 9 times in human history. We have explored every planet in our own solar system. Of course, we've got the Hubble Space Telescope. We've had astronauts on the International Space Station in low Earth orbit now for 22 years. We've got right now the Parker Solar Probe is flying through the atmosphere of the sun. So we have so many great accomplishments that we in the United States have achieved, and we are doing it with our international partners. Here's what I think we need to be nervous about. The fact that China is moving forward very rapidly, and they're telling the world that they are going to be the leader, and that if people want to do great things, they need to partner with China. Here's what we know, Neil. We know that the United States of America can do great things. We need all of the international partners that we have helped develop their space capabilities. We need them to be with us as we continue to do astonishing things. And yes, the James Webb Space Telescope, those images are going to forever change our understanding of physics. And that was an American leadership effort. So we can do great things. We just have to make sure that Congress is doing it, and that the achievements that we are trying to perform, that they span multiple administrations. It can't become partisan. It can't become political. James Webb is a perfect example of a project that spans multiple administrations.
But the allure of the moon all over again, Jim, what is it about? Is it using it as a base for still other space missions going forward? What changed from our leaving it 50 years ago to now reconsidering it today?
Well, the key here, and I think this is very important, we need to get to Mars. Mars is the destination. When I was the NASA administrator, Neil, we discovered that Mars is covered in complex organic compounds. The building blocks of life exist on the surface of Mars. They don't exist on the moon at all, but they're all over Mars, and of course, they're all over Earth. We think about, we discovered that there's liquid water 12 kilometers under the surface of Mars. What do we know about liquid water on Earth? Wherever it exists, there's life. It doesn't matter if it's a raindrop or a teardrop. Where there's water, there's life. Is that true on Mars? We don't know. We also learned that on Mars, the methane cycles match the seasons of Mars. That doesn't guarantee life on Mars, but the probability keeps going up. There is going to be a discovery one day of whether or not there is or maybe was in the past life on Mars. That discovery needs to be made by the United States of America and our allies as we move forward, because it will forever add chapters to history books and science books. It is part of who we are as a nation to do this type of exploration. Where the moon comes in is that we need to understand how to learn. We need to learn how to live and work on another planet for long periods of time. The challenge with Mars is that Earth and Mars are on the same side of the sun once every 26 months, which means when you go to Mars, you have to stay there for almost 2 years before you can come home. The value of the moon is that it's a 3-day journey there, it's a 3-day journey home. We saw with Apollo 13, things can go wrong and you can still come home from the moon safely. The moon is the proving ground. It's how we learn how to live and work on another world. Mars is the destination because that is going to change how children learn about history and science. And the United States of America has to lead there. Congress needs to take this very seriously.
Yeah, and if for no other reason, just as the challenge of learning something new. Jim Bridenstine, thank you very, very much.